Hey everybody, nice to see you again. I have returned to the park that I was at a number of videos ago. I know some of you really liked this location, so I've been meaning to come back here. It was raining earlier, so I doubt there'll be too many people wanting to come for a walk here. So, firstly, I think I mentioned in my last video I was going to get my hair cut. So I have some weird little bangs now. And it's darker. The dye job I did myself, obviously, because it's patchy. But no, because lockdown's over now in Melbourne, woohoo. So I think like the next day after that announcement I went and got my hair cut. I don't really like getting my hair cut normally. I don't like getting my hair cut, don't like getting massages, anything like that. Like anything that requires a stranger to put their hands on me for a extended period of time, I'm like, I prefer not to. But I pretty much went 18 months in lockdown without a haircut, so I thought I'd better do it. But I like it. I think it suits me. There's a bit of traffic. Hopefully it's not too distracting for you. So yeah, out of lockdown, which is pretty amazing considering we're the most locked down city in the world. Yes, I'm going to keep saying that, okay? I never win anything, so I'm going to take this. To celebrate, my mum and I went away for the weekend into the city, which is not a particularly long trip, but just to get back out there, see the sights. We got ourselves a swanky hotel room for the night. Just went out drinking, bar hopping. Although they're doing, what do you call it, capacity limits everywhere. And we didn't really plan ahead very well, so we ended up drunkenly stumbling around the city for like a good 3 hours. Just trying to find a place that was open and taking people with, you know, walk-ins. So that was a bit difficult. But it was nice. Like there was one point where we stopped and sat on some steps near the river and just listened to a busker playing, and we just listened to him for like 20 minutes, and we were a bit drunk, so you know, we were kind of singing along possibly a bit too loudly. It's possible we were screaming the choruses back at him as people were walking between us staring at us. What are those ladies doing? Listen, the man played Robbie Williams. We had to shout the lyrics back at him, you know. You have to. So that was really nice. That was a really nice memory we made together. And we did an escape room. Been doing a lot of escape rooms, really. My boyfriend's really into them lately. So as soon as things opened back up, the first thing we did together, he and I, was go to an escape room. And my mum's never done one, so I thought I would take her to do one. We failed it. That's the first time. I think it's the first time. I think it's the first time that I've ever done an escape room and failed it, which is not an indictment on my mum. She probably solved more things than I did actually, but where the escape room was, it was in a bowling alley. Like it was part of a bowling alley that does lots of different things, laser tag, all that kind of stuff. But they didn't friggin' soundproof the room. So, and this escape room, I don't know if you've ever done any, but this particular one really relied on audio cues playing over the speakers for you to listen to and figure out the next thing. So we've got our ear up to this speaker, and all we can hear is fucking Kesha or whatever pumping through from the bowling alley, you know, the next wall across. So I might have to write them a little email to be like, hey, work on your soundproofing, because it's actually you know, I'm not to blame everybody else, but it is part of the reason why we didn't get out of the room, because we couldn't hear any of the frigging clues. But anyway, not to be a sore loser. But I am thinking about going back and having another go, because I can't stand to be bested. So yeah, the weekend was nice. I came home from that yesterday. I don't think we've been out for dinner. Just trying to think of all the things that I've done now that lockdown's over. That's why it's been kind of a while since I've spoken to you guys, because I've just been out enjoying the world for a change. And my work is having an in-person Christmas party again this year, which is fantastic. I've been so looking forward to doing that again. I haven't seen really any of my workmates in nearly 2 years. And we've gotten all these new people in that I've only ever spoken to over Skype, you know, or Microsoft Teams. I just have no idea what these people even look like. So that's going to be nice. And I think the company is paying for the alcohol, so it'll be super nice. Be really nice to see everybody again. And then in December, which is rapidly coming up, oh my god, I'm going to be getting back into Auslan, my sign language classes, which I'm so excited about. If you've seen my other videos, you know how super excited I am about these classes. I've only just started. I'm really a beginner. And I was just about to go into the intermediate class, the next one up from beginners. And then we had another lockdown. So I've been waiting all year to get back into this classroom and to get back in front of this teacher. Really, it's the teacher. He's so amazing. He's just one of the best teachers I've ever had of anything, any subject. So I'm really looking forward to getting back in there and learning from him. So that'll be in December. I've changed to, I used to do it week to week, over 6 weeks. But I think now they're a bit paranoid because of COVID and having been locked down and shut down so many times, that they've changed it to a 4-day intensive, which I guess turns out to be the same amount of hours. I'm a little wary of that system because, you know, before it was 6 weeks, it was like every Wednesday night or something. So, you know, I'd go to class and then I'd have a week in between to practice. And then when I'd show up the next week, I'd be like, here's what I learned. But in a 4-day intensive course, you can't. It'll be different. It might be better. I don't know. But I'm a little worried that my brain won't take in all the information in such a short period of time. Like the 4 days will be over and I'll walk out of there feeling like none of that stuck, you know. But we'll see. I'm excited to get back into it. I haven't really been practicing at home. In lieu of practicing, I've followed all of these Instagram accounts that's like a learn a sign a day kind of thing. So I've sort of tried to subconsciously get some revision in there. These are, I've never read this packet. Double D, sugar free. It rhymes and it sounds naughty. Perfect. I don't know what I said in my last video. I think I told you the dog story about that little doggy that we had to give back. And my boyfriend has been hounding me. Sorry. Has been like bugging me, like when are we gonna try again? When are we gonna get a new dog? He's really clucky, but for a dog. Is there a word for dog, clucky? Anyway. So you know, like I said, I told him, I gave him my ultimatum. We can try again, we can get another dog, but we have to go on holiday first, because, you know, once you have a dog, going on a holiday is suddenly more complicated. And he agreed to that, so we've booked a holiday. Only 5 days, not a big one. You know, we're not made of money, unfortunately. But we're going to Queensland, which, quick geography lesson if you're not in Australia or not familiar with Australia. So that's Australia, and then there's Tasmania at the bottom, but don't worry about that. Australia, I live here, down the bottom, and Queensland is up here, up the very top. I probably didn't need, I could have just told you I live at the bottom of the country, and we're going on holiday to the top of the country. Down here, as you can see, it's always rainy and it's a bit gloomy, and in Queensland it's tropical, much closer to the equator, and it is probably like the main holiday destination in this country because it's the only state that has theme parks, and I fucking love a theme park, I really do. We used to go there maybe once every couple of years when I was a kid, and my dad and I would just spend the whole day going on all the roller coasters because I love roller coasters. I love the big rides. Not all of them, you know, there's certain ones that I won't go on, like those all the swingy ones that like the pirate ship, and any ride that has that kind of pendulum motion. I don't go on those because they make me feel really sick. Those ones, you kind of get them more at carnivals, where you sit in that chair and then it swings you up really high and you're just on like 2 metal chains on this swing chair. I've never gone on one of those, and I'm never going to. I feel like I can just imagine so clearly one of them just snapping off and fucking off into the sunset. And it would be me. I would be the unlucky bastard that would get flung off into space. But we are going to Queensland, and we're going to go to... Matt's not a huge ride person. He says he reckons he'll just hold my bag while I go on all of them, which is sweet. But so we're trying to decide if we're going to go to 1 or 2. There's 4 or 5 up there. We've got our own SeaWorld, which isn't particularly good. We're not going to go there. We have Warner Brothers Movie World, which is probably never used to be my favourite growing up, but I kind of think that's the mature choice. I actually think that might be the best one, because not only they have something for everybody. They've got cool rides, but they also have like stunt driving shows where they blow cars up and stuff. That's like movie magic. But Movie World has one of my favourite rides, which is the Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster. No points for guessing the theming of that one. It's based on the live action film that came out in the early 2000s. You know, the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar and... Oh, yeah, you know the one. So it's based on that. And I think that's a fantastic movie. So it's a fantastic ride. The theming's great. It's an indoor roller coaster. So you never quite... It's a bit like... It's dark like Space Mountain. I don't know if you've ever been to Space Mountain, but it's that kind of idea. It's dark and enclosed. So you never really know what's about to happen because you can't see anything in front of you. Anyway. It's a family-friendly ride, but it has thrilling elements, you know? Much like myself, I think I'm mostly family-friendly with some thrilling elements. So I'm really looking forward to going on that. And any roller coaster I can get my hands on. I love roller coasters. Yeah, so we have one theme park in Melbourne, but it is more like a Coney Island kind of thing. It's not one of those premium ones like you get in Queensland. So I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. Oh my god! And then after that, so that's in February. 5 days in February, we're gonna go up there and get our tan on. I'll get my sunburn on. I used to tan when I was a kid. I used to tan really easily. My dad's quite olive, so I have a bit of that in me, but I never go outside. I never spend particularly long in the sun, so I'm just always ghostly pale. But I'd like to actually go and run an experiment and go sit out in the sun for 5 days. Sun smart, of course, always. Slip, slop, slap. Do you guys have that overseas? Slip, slop, slap? If you don't, that was the Australian ad campaign that used to run when I was a kid about being sun smart. Because I think Australia might have one of the highest rates of skin cancer in the world. Because we are so... Everybody just gets about with singlets and, you know, especially in summer. A lot of shirtless men in summer. I wish there wasn't. But yeah, slip on a shirt, slap on some sunscreen. No. Slip, slop, slap. Slip on a shirt, slop on some sunscreen, slap on a hat. That's got to be an Australian ad campaign. That's so quintessentially Aussie. Ugh. Slip, slop, slap. Anyway, be sun smart, guys. That hole in the ozone layer is no joke. So yes, so that's in February. I said that already. It would be kind of nice to go away before that, because that's quite a ways away, but it's hard for my boyfriend and I to get time off work at the same time. You know, working for the man. Oh, I have good news. Most years, last year excluded because of COVID, but Melbourne does a yearly Carols by Candlelight event, and it's televised, and you know, all the B grade celebrities come and sing their little, probably not even B grade, they're probably more like C or D grade, daytime television celebrities, Australian daytime television celebrities, nobody you'd ever heard of, come along and they sing their Christmas standard, and they wear a pretty dress, and it was a tradition in my house growing up. My mum insisted it came on Christmas Eve, and we had to sit down as a family and watch it, listen to all the songs, sing along to all the songs, and open one present. That was our Christmas tradition. You could have one present while we watched Carols by Candlelight on TV. So anyway, and part of that is a big Carols choir who dress in these beautiful silk satin blue robes with a little gold neckline, and yeah, I just grew up watching that choir, and every year they would get to do the Hallelujah chorus, and it was huge tradition in my house. We're not religious or anything, but you know, we live in a Western society, so you know, we do Christmas, even though it doesn't fundamentally mean anything except just getting your family together. But anyway, so it had been on my bucket list forever to get into this choir, to somehow. One day I found out that they're open audition, like it's not, I always used to think that you had to be part of some existing high level choir to get into this choir, but it turns out no, you just need to have the conductor's email address. So I spent a good 12 months of my life mission impossibling my way around the Melbourne choir scene to find this man's email to be like, hey, can I join your choir, please? And I did, and he said yes. So I've been in that choir now for a number of years. Last year I had to send in a video of myself singing, so they did like a virtual choir collage montage thing. It was a bit cheesy, but it was better than nothing. I can still say that I was involved, even if I wasn't there in person. Anyway, all of that to say, let me just finish this one. Double D, sugar free. I wish I could describe myself like that, but sadly no. All of this to say, this year, what with vaccinations now being a thing, all of that, they've got some more options. So typically the choir is, I think, about 300 people, 250, I'm not quite sure how many people. Big choir, you know, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, men and women. But this year, pardon me, this year they sent out an email to everybody to say, we're only taking 80 people this year. Capacity, COVID, all that. We're down from 250 to 80. So, get in quick with your applications. I don't know if it was a first come, first serve basis or how they picked people. But anyway, my ass was responding to that email 2 seconds after I got sent it. I'm like, me, please, me. Oh my God, I have to be there. I don't even know what it is. I think having grown up with this program, it's so special to me, and the fact that I actually have been able to be a part of it. Anyway, sorry, I'm not getting to the point. The point is I got into the 80. So I'm very excited. I'm quite nervous because the nice thing about being in a big 300 people choir is that it's easy to hide if you don't quite know what the words are, what the note is, you don't know quite where you're up to in the music. It's fine because chances are nobody's looking at you. There's so many people to look at. Probably nobody's looking at you. But 80 people, a bit less room to hide. I have a feeling there's more chance of me getting on camera, and I'm just really hoping I don't forget the words, because I don't want my one close-up of the show to be jingle bells, that would be unfortunate. So we haven't had our first rehearsal yet. That's next weekend. So I'm going to take a big armful of music home and try and get it into my head so that I don't embarrass myself on national television. Who knows? I still might. Alright guys, I would finish this, but I haven't eaten anything and these are starting to make my tummy go a bit. But say hi in the comments. I always really love when you guys do that. I should do a video where I write you guys' names down and read you out. You like when people do that, right? I always like to hear my name said by some creator I like. Not that I consider myself a creator. That's quite a fucking title to give myself. Look at me. Look at this art I'm creating in the backseat of my hatchback. Eating candy and talking bullshit. Iconic. Alright, anyway. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.